Hachi niggas shooting at each other?
Because
if it's got shit to do with that. That ain't his business. That's your business.
If his commander,
it's not an ally of Israel and downfight No. Why is somebody so fucking illiterate bothering to have an opinion? Good God. I mean, it's only the same guy told me that Lockheed Martin sells schematics.
I think
Lockheed Martin sells schematics.
I think if you sign up in the military and you want to have an opinion about where you're going to be deployed, I think you're off base at the beginning.
Out of his mind. That doesn't happen. Yeah, I mean, Marshall, obviously he's out of his mind here because when he talks about what Lockheed Martin sells, he has no idea what Lockheed Martin sells.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have any idea, because if he did, he would understand that Lockheed Martin's largest sale came from fucking commercial aircraft. Well, dude, he said what sounded like the F-23, which, if he is referring to the F-22, the F-23 isn't. It wouldn't be Lockheed Martin. It's a Northrop development, and it's not sold. If he means the F-22, it's not sold outside the United States. So I don't have any idea what he's talking about. And when they do sell planes, especially if we're not going to sell the schematics.
I mean, we usually have to make them. Most countries, I think Israel, for whatever reason, did something to where they don't have to, because But generally, I think they have to get the codes in order to even operate their fighter jets every day. Like if you sold the F-35 to I don't know, Saudi Arabia or something like that. Is it quiet or is my shit fucked up?
No, it's quiet. Somebody kick Pierre down.
We lost that other dude, so I can't quiet.
Pierre is a little quiet.
Well, it's just a waste of time because he has no idea what he's talking about. He's literally wrong on every single subject. And not just wrong, but like just saying things that are like obviously wrong.
He's right that the Iran war is bullshit. He's right that the Iran war is bullshit.
Yeah, that could be. But what he was wrong about that war was he said that the U.S. should not be allies with Europe because we don't get anything out of them, and that we should be allies with Iran because we could buy oil from them. I mean, that's just the most. Bitching about how we're not self-sufficient. What the fuck is wrong with it? Yeah, and that was his other argument, to be self-sufficient, and that the U.S. should be allies with Iran. That makes no sense.
With Iran, that's 100% possible. We were in the past.
Yeah, not this regime. With the Trump regime, possibly. But with this regime has had a history of attacking the United States from its inception. That is incorrect. It is Iran that has instigated attacks against the United States. I never said that. That's crazy. I don't want you, but I need to be allowed to speak.
No, you're good.
I'll speak to you.
Good luck. Go ahead. Somebody go.
Yeah, basically, we messed with their internal affairs in the 1950s. We forced them to sell 40%, give us 40% of their oil. So that's why the Iranian people had a problem with us. We were supporting the Shah, and they didn't like the Shah. We were
shut down in 2017.
Argumentation that's about oil has literally no fucking backing. I work in energy. Stop, nigga. What industry do you work in? Bullshit. I don't know. You're absolutely fucking full of it. Nigga, everybody absolutely fucking full of it. Every time you maintain on the stage, in the last hour and a half that I've been in here, you have been you let me like you must have shot because you can't bother me. Y'all really think y'all smarter than us. Y'all not. I literally was just in front of a nuclear power plant in Pennsylvania a month ago.
Very nice way would just be like impaired cognitive functioning. There's things you'd see in a clinical setting.
Yeah, I think Randy Fine was using him as a dishonestly attached that guy to the anti-Iran, anti-Israel criticism.
Randy Fine wants all of the Gazan children to starve to death and eat all the fucking UN food aid.
Exactly. Jew. Okay. That's what it is.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. See, here's the thing, though, is I do see. Hold on.
It literally fits the dictionary.
They can stick it. And the Jew that insisted that anti-Semitism is that definition can stick it right up their Jewish ass.
Well, you're wrong. It wasn't. You're wrong. It wasn't. That definition. You don't know what.
No, the word got made up. No, the word got made up by a German. By a German, I know.
The word was made up by anti-Semites.
Yes, I know a German. No, but the definition of it, like this IHRA definition, that is a Jewish construct. Absolutely, it's a Jewish construct.
The definition of the term has always been the definition that is in place now. So you're just wrong, Pepe, on this one.
Should we go through the IHRA definition? It is very anti-Christian, by the way.
I don't know what your point is.
You know what's going to happen? You guys should all be praying. You should be on your fucking knees repenting, because you guys will face the Holocaust, and that is when Jesus Christ returns and he throws you into the most fiery pit, the oven of hell.
I'm glad you're having a lot of fun with this entertainment, but it obviously doesn't have anything to do with our debate. What we should have recognized is Pear demonstrating his intelligence by the fact that he stood in front of a nuclear power plant sometime in the recent past. He literally said that.
No, I know he did.
I'm not. Yeah. The point was that he was smart. He was.
Marshall's Butters.
I mean, that guy is retarded. He came in here. He came in the room to fight.
If I'm Butters from South Park, I will fucking take that. Butters is occasionally cool, so I'll take it.
Butters is Anglo-Saxon, and I don't think you can beat him, bro. You're Kyle.
No, I am not English, Irish, and French, so I am very pale.
You're crypto.
No, he's not a Jew. He's definitely not a Jew.
Then why would he have a fat Jew in his poster? Like, why? Why is he a fucking fat Jew? Like, what is the appeal to white Americans for Randy Fine?
Oh, you're talking about Randy Fine. No, Randy Fine is a disgusting fat ass.
Like, why is Marshall not a Jew?
No, he's
That's
not.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, what's his appeal to Randy Fine then? What's appealing to him? Like, he's fat. He doesn't even mock. So are you Jewish? Why do you like Randy Fine?
I just like Randy. I thought I liked her just like Randy. I just don't like. I'm sure you're saying something about an entire. We know how to do that.
But you're talking about that. The definition of it. Like this IHRA definition, that is a Jewish construct. Absolutely, it's a Jewish construct.
You're just wrong.
I'm talking about Randy Carter. You know, in high school, I had one of my.
I know, but now you want them all. Yeah, you want one of my best friends is black. I'm not a racist.
Yeah, bro, I don't. Jews.
One of my best friends was
Yeah, I
Jewish,
don't
but I ended up growing up young or my dad was like big fucking rock on him to make sure he was dead afterwards. What do you mean by organized Jews?
I care about organized Jews and what they do. I don't care about the individual Jews.
Well, damn.
Like
you should call them out by name.
That's another thing. That's another thing.
The problem with your statement it's not that you're against organized Jews. You're against civic organized Jews, like the two organizations you mentioned. So you should mention those names. It's like me saying I'm against organized blacks because I'm against some black organization. That would be inappropriate to say.
Let me rephrase or let me clarify. So I believe that Jews that they act as a state within a state because they're transnational and they're stateless. So wherever they are, they all work together. They have an inside bias, basically, that they're all.
The rootless, no, that's true. The rootless cosmopolitans with their
Ethnic groups always tend to have their preferences. In-groups always tend to have their preferences. We're not talking about anything more than preference in an in-group.
And these people, they all work together in tandem in key industries.
This is called
racism, anti-Semitism. The Jews don't run Hollywood. You're a fucking bigot for even thinking that. It's such bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
All I gotta say is this is an awful lot of explanation for a statement that was overly simplistic and broad. Like you didn't need to argue it. You could have just said, Marshall, I really didn't intend to. Sorry, like that's not how I see it. Instead, you like had to broaden your statement and go, well, I only mean it this way, and I only mean it this way. And then even Pepe was like, come on, bro, you don't like James.
No, I'm not gonna concede that I hate every single Jew. No.
Just the ones that practice Judaism and like Israel.
Just most of them.
Yeah, I would say a lot of them that are, yeah, I guess it would be a lot.
That's like the definition of bigotry. I'm sorry, just like if you want to look at, if you want to double check me, look at Merriam-Webster.
That's Jew ordered by Jews. Not gonna do it.
So if I hate a lot of Germans during Nazi Germany, would that be like racist or ism? Like,
What it mean?
Yeah, you were never talking about Germans. We were talking.
so what? For Jews, like how Jews made the term Nazi?
Very specific organizations that you mentioned you don't like. You don't like the ADL. You don't like ADL.
The ADL does suck.
That is not racist.
It's called Marxism. We already have a word for it. It's called Marxism. Marxism. That's when Jews are supremacists and hate us. It's called
Oh, yeah.
So all I'm talking about are bigotry.
Okay, Marxist. You fucking Marxist.
No, it's Marxist. That's the term that they can't. It's like a decade old. Like that's the Jews that think that they are so. They deserve everything because they have some divine right to be the light of the world and to rule everything and basically be the ones that influence everything and all of that is Marxism. And you need to call those fuckers out.
Yeah.
Don't let that hoity-toity Jew get on his pedestal and say how, you're an anti-Semite. No, you say, shut your mouth, Jew, in the name of Jesus Christ.
In God's name.
You put him in his place.
That works so well for the Catholics when they tried it the first fucking time.
Yeah, then we'll do it again.
Yep.
But all what you're saying goes against the Catholic Church. So you want to be anti-Catholic?
No, I'm
but it goes against the Catholic Church.
I'm a fucking crusader.
Well, you reject the Catholic Church.
No, I
You
don't.
reject the authority of the Pope. You reject the authority of the Vatican Council. And that's a position you can take, but it's an anti-Catholic position.
It's perfectly in line.
No, it goes against the Catholic Church. Doesn't fit with the Catholic
Christianity condemns the Jews.
Not the Catholic Church, though. The Catholic Church does not. The Catholic Church is very specific on this.
All of a sudden, the 2,000 years, all of a sudden, after 2,000 years, the church ends up putting out this opinion that, it's not right to blame the Jews for killing Jesus. Even though they did kill him,
It's not after 2,000 years. So if you knew
almost
the
2,000
church, no, nowhere near 2,000 years. If you knew the history of the church, you would know that this position evolved over time, and they were not always anti-Jewish.
Most of the anti-Jew parted anti-Jewish.
No, they weren't. The history of they started as a Jewish sect. They were not anti-Jewish.
The history of
developed over time, and the phenomenon you're talking about is a medieval.
I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Quit talking to us, fellow Christians, and trying to.
Dude, you can say whatever you want.
You are trying
history
to manipulate a Christian.
I'm not trying to manipulate
Evil Jewish
I'm keeping the history. You're the one that's denying the Catholic Church.
No, I'm upholding the Catholic Church.
No, you're not.
Dear Jesus, please strike the Satan out of this wicked Jew's body, please, so he can be saved. Amen.
You're going against what the Vatican Council says. You're a heretic. You made Marshall leave.
Praise God.
Did Pierre leave too?
I think Pierre was moved down, and I think Marshall left.
Praise the Lord.
And Pepe took a chill pill.
So Bavarian, what's your dog in this fight? What you standing on?
I'm on Team Pepe, bro.
He's an Arab Muslim. That's it. We get along.
Exactly. I'm Arab, bro, but yeah, bro, I fucked with everything that he said. I fucked with Nick Fuentes, and to be honest, I listened to Hitler's speeches in English, and the first 20 minutes made me cry.
Praise be to the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
So, Pepe, you're saying you're pro-Hitler now?
You didn't know that already? He's like my fucking idol. Holy shit.
So Bavarian, what's the reason you don't like Jews?
Because they captured every single industry, right? From banking to steel to the military industry, like everything, including the media. They social engineer the people with the media, right? So that's why we have feminism, LGBT, that's why people are retarded. Every problem you can trace back to them. And they fucked up the economy, they run the banks, they're making us poor, we can't afford a home. When 30 years ago, we can do that working at McDonald's. So what happened? They're devaluing their currency, they're making us go to wars. They're fucking up my country. I shouldn't even be here. With my oil money, that's how I'm supposed to be living.
Bavarian, if that's true. So Bavarian, if all of that is true, why did they let you?
I wouldn't be here.
Why did they let you own a home 30 years ago, then?
Bro, it was affordable.
Right, but why don't they allow it to be affordable? Why did they allow it to be affordable 30 years ago?
Bro, because they didn't manipulate the markets the way that they have today. They didn't
control the markets then, so the
yes, all the Jewish speculators, the Jewish hedge fund managers, the greedy Jew.
Right, and before they weren't Jews, but then they suddenly became Jews.
No, the ones that weren't Jews. The one anti-Semite you guys hate so much, Mr. Ford. He even said, I will not pay my employees a wage where they cannot easily afford one of my automobiles. And then his whole problem is because the Jew financiers came in. They're like, We can get some schmeckles out of these people. Let's not pay these guys a silly living wage. And they tried to just
So Pepe, when did this happen?
I don't remember, but this happened, bro.
Oh, you don't remember, but you know it happened. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The International Jew.
You guys never heard of
I have a question for you, Barry. You said the Jews did all this stuff, right? So why did they miss indoctrinating you?
You said what?
Why did they?
I'm not, because I'm Muslim. At the end of the day, I'm Arab. We already know that the Jews are fucked up.
I know, but
So
how did they?
Growing up, I never believed the Holocaust.
Yeah, Catholics and Muslims have immunity through our faiths. Like we don't come to the Jews like.
Exactly. Let me talk to him, please.
As a kid, I didn't believe in the Holocaust.
I know. I understand all the stuff you said. I got it. My question is, you are so indoctrinated by this one people group that you are. If they did not indoctrinate you, why are you so focused on?
Bro, they indoctrinate everyone in mostly the society. Most of the society.
Like in you though, how did you get so indoctrinated by the rhetoric that you say?
Indoctrinated by what rhetoric? I don't get it by Jewish rhetoric?
Yes.
How am I indoctrinated by Jews? I don't support Jews.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute, hold on. You don't support them. I'm thinking religion, you don't support them.
You said what?
How do they make money not participating and giving them money?
When I buy things because they own all the corporations. Well, that's no choice. I can't live Amish.
You can live. You could live Amish. Why can't you be Amish?
Well, I'm not. First of all, I'm not Amish.
You're not. I know. My question
I'm
comes
not energy, bro. I can't really do that. That's hard for me to do. I don't have the money. I don't have
Actually, that's no religion. You can't just join like.
Okay, hold on, Pepe. I got it. So,
farmland, bro.
I got it. I know that. Do you think all the land around the world are owned by Jews?
No, but I was born here in America, bro.
I know that.
They destroyed my home country by the Jews and America.
Okay, so give me one thing. I just want one thing. What have the Jews destroyed that you know that affects you?
America.
Okay. America.
No. Give me something specific. That's too broad.
So, they did the banking system and the economy. So we can't afford this.
No. You're doing multiple things. Okay, thank you. Please explain to me, how did the Jews destroy banking?
So, first of all, they monopolized banks, right?
All right, very good. You know what? Right now.
Fractional reserve banking.
I got
their banking policies like that. Like they lend out majority of what's in the bank.
I blame what plastic all of this shit, fam. These ones are
Federal Reserve.
So I'm asking this last question. This is my last question for you. Do you know how many total Jews there are in the world?
Yeah, 5 of them.
Okay. How many total Jews in the world?
5.
They're like 0.02 of America in the world. In Israel, there's like 15 million. I don't know how much around the world exactly.
No, it's like 16 or 17 million, I think. So
okay. So thanks, Stephanie. So let's say there's 16 million. There's 8.4 billion people on planet Earth. What you want me to believe is that these 16 million people is controlling the whole world.
Bro, you don't know that they own the slave markets and the slave
No. Hold on.
Dude, they might not own the slave markets. That's
Hold on, guys.
They were on Saturday.
Hold on. I'm going to say this to you again. You want us to believe that 16 million religious Jews or non-religious Jews run the whole world and work? Okay, hold on. So is that what you're submitting to all of us? I just want to make sure.
I believe that they have monopoly monopolies in key industries, and that allows them to act as a state within a state.
So that's exactly what you expect us to believe.
All right.
You expect us to believe on a planet of 8 billion people and 16 million people control it?
Before anything, can I ask you one question?
Wait,
Only
let's
one
get back to
question.
Let's get back to specifics.
Can
So
I ask
he
you
said-
one question?
So he said that fractional reserve banking was an example of the Jews taking over the banking system. Fractional reserve banking in the United States goes back to 1781. So don't give me this BS that this had the Jews were behind it.
I said that's one of their policies.
Who controlled
Yeah, but
banking
you're
back
wrong,
in the 1700s?
because it's
Just because it's considered
it goes
unclean
back to
dirty
1781.
That's one
So
of
there's
their
always been
policies.
fractional reserve banking in the United States.
No,
It's not because of the Jews. It's
because it
nothing to
was
do with
considered
the
dirty
Jews.
because they had to cut interest rates, and so you shoved the Jews into doing it.
That's
So
not
there
true.
are a lot of
That-
people who are Jewish in banking, but they don't control anything. They don't control anything.
They made the Civil Rights Act and the immigration policies. They brought me into this fucking country.
They created the immigration policies.
Jews control the immigration policy?
Perhaps one of the. There's a few things. First of all, we can look at the far radical left and the very prominent roles that a lot of Jews, to say the least, in the U.S. But if you look at the 1965 Hart-Celler Act, that was something that was spearheaded by Jews in particular, and there's several reasons for it. But long story short, Bernard Britt, or whatever the ADL was called before, they're the ones who had really pushed for it. They ended up getting somewhat of a coalition, mainly with Italians, because the nation of the national quota that we had for the nation of origins, which favored Western Europe, disfavored Southern and Eastern Europe. And so they ghostwritten a book. Jews did feel uncomfortable living in a country that was largely homogenous, where they were racist, because those kinds of populations usually turned on them. And also, they felt like there was a great injustice done when ships were turned back from Germany and Eastern Europe, where Jews ended up basically having to face the Holocaust. So those were their main motivations, I guess you could say. But yes, that was largely, I'll just use the term, spearheaded by Jews. Civil Rights Act, that was the quote-unquote white people that were with Dr. Martin Luther King. Jews in the ADL brag about this. I mean, that's widely known. They did take a very leading role in civil rights. So, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know much, Pepe. Try reading a history book sometime. I'd like to answer the question of, why are you jealous of Trump? That's really just a fake title, kind of like a lot of the bullshit that Pepe says about Jews, because he's got a limited scope of understanding and very limited awareness of who the Jews are, what they do, when everybody's personal lives is all about. Pepe just spreads his misinformation and hate speech because he's low IQ and he's got brain rot. But the truth about Trump is that everyone on this app, from liberal to Democrat, anybody with hate in their heart is merely projecting onto our glorious orange president because he's evergreen. Evergreen means catch-all. And so if you hate something about yourself, many people project that onto Trump, and that's called ad hominem projection. In the same way that Pepe projects onto the Jews his own inferiority complex, lack of intelligence, lack of self-esteem, lack of height, lack of decorum, because any young man that says the N-word 100,000 times in just a couple of years and praises Hitler clearly was a boxer for too long, and he's got brain mush, brain rot. that's where the actual hard part of the frontal cortex dissolves and liquefies, and you become the R word, very much like Pepe and other R word people who spend 40 hours a week thinking about J words when they could be reading a book, going to the gym, making money, making love to a woman, doing something, gardening, woodworking, anything other than talking about a group of minorities because their self-esteem is in the garbage. I rest my case, and I am complete. Hello?
Bro was yapping, I swear to God.
Yapping.
Could not follow it.
Because you don't speak English. That was a good roast. Got to record all these good roasts, you know?
Is this really going or not? Is this shit down?
No. That's agree. That's all. That's agree. Okay. The reason why is you just said he was happening. It's a title of the room.
Oh, look at that. I got a heart from Miriam. Because Bavarian out here obviously doesn't speak English, couldn't understand a word I said. And so again, if you are living your life and you don't like the J words, well, do you know how much history there is to actually sort through and look up? I was putting some links in the chat about when Americans for the first time went to war against the Muslims in Tripoli. Because these cocksuckers were running slave rackets and they wanted America to pay them their jizya. And you know what? That Umma, we busted their asses and we got our soldiers back, but we still paid them $60,000 when our commander said, fuck that, don't give them nothing. So there's always conflict, and not many people know that America actually went to war with France after the French Revolution and they killed their king. And we said, all right, well, your loan is canceled. And now, because you're attacking us, we are going to wage war against France. You see how political treaties and allies can change overnight? In the same way that I hope you'll stop your Jew hate. It's so stupid. Try reading a fucking book. Try doing something with your life instead of screaming into a conference call that you think the J words are in control of all the industries and making your life miserable. Sounds to me like you're just a fucking complainer. A chronic, complaining little cunt that needs to go to the gym and read a book and do something with your life. Try to be productive. Hello? Try playing music. Maybe you're going to want to get a music instrument one day, and maybe you're going to want to start a band. Because you can make more money in music and create libraries of music than J-word hate speech all day. What do you think about that, you fucking loser?
And maybe you're going to want to start a band.
Not many people like the Beatles, but at least they didn't spread hate messaging all day long because their brains were the size of my fucking testicle. You know, you got little brain syndrome. You need to be creative in life. You can't just go around complaining all the time like Pepe. That makes you pathetic. No woman can respect a man that screams into his phone J-word hate speech all day or even N-word speech all day. Hello? Hello? This is the John Kitover Band bringing you your reverse-engineered anti-Semitic reverse hate speech propaganda of the day to defeat the low IQ rats.
Okay, bro. If you want to talk about the music industry, don't Jews use the music industry to spread degeneracy to Christians? Don't they spread porn?
Don't the Muslims call the non-believers the enemy and they got to pay a jizz tax, a tribute to their ummah? Sounds to me like the Democrats, basically. In group, out group. I want liberty. And you know what? That means I get to consume what I want to consume. That means I get to think what I want to think, feel what I want to feel, say what I want to say. I'm not a Muslim, okay? I'm free. I'm in America, and we wage war against the Muslim pirates, the slave masters of Islam, the blackmailers and the blood money Muslim hustlers, the terrorists, the mafia. We'll fight them all. Hello?
Invade and conquer parts of Europe. They opened the castle gates for the Muslims in Iberia. And Muslims had it for 800.
And guess what year it is right now, motherfucker? It's 2026, and we will blow up any cocksucking terrorist Muslim motherfucker and send them straight back to Allah. Hello?
When the Spanish Inquisition was happening, they kicked out both the Jews and Muslims together because the Jews were helping the Muslims conquer Spain.
Oh yeah, post the link to that, big guy. Let's read your history. Guess what? Guess what the racist Christians of Spain did when they kicked the Muslims out? They were like, you know what? Let's kick them all out because we hate everybody. That's what happened, man. It's not because the Jews were conspiring to overthrow the Christians. Besides, again, it's 2026, and we got a constitutional Republican form of democracy here. I don't know what century you live in, you fucking Muslim rat, but it's 2026, bitch, and you better come in compliance, or we will send the Marines back into your country to teach you a lesson that you will never forget. Hello?
Oh boy. Okay, Goldstein, what is going on around here? Thanks for the harmonica, Goldstein.
Oh no, I heard it. Trust me, I heard it. We'll talk about it in a second. That was one for the ages. Oh my gosh. Edward was annoying that I ended up liking.
Hey, Edward, don't the Jews spread degeneracy with the entertainment industry?
I'm sorry. Hold on, 1 second. Version, what do you say?
Don't the Jews spread degeneracy with the entertainment industry that they have a monopoly on?
I have no clue. Where do you get that information from?
You have no clue? So, do the Jews have a monopoly in Hollywood?
I have no clue. I don't know what
You
you
have no clue?
No, you know what you
But the obvious answer, though, they do have a monopoly on Hollywood.
Peppy, hold on. I'm going to be honest with both of you. I've never met a Jew who owns anything in Hollywood. The music or anything else. I don't know them. So I'm going to claim that I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm being honest with you.
How many shekels did they pay you, bro?
Okay, first of all, I'm trying to be real with you, and I know that you like comedy, but I'm not a comedian, okay? I'm going to say to you again, I don't know a Jew that owns anything in Hollywood. I don't know a Jew that put out anything degenerate. I don't know them. Never met
I don't know them personally either, but people like Harvey Weinstein.
I know. Hold on, sir.
What about Dan Snyder?
Okay, listen to me.
You don't know these people? What are you talking about?
I don't know them.
You don't know Steven Spielberg?
Okay, hold on, guys, please. I'm going to say this to you again. If you believe that you can just get on any speaker or mic and just talk because you've heard of a name or saw it in the media, and now you're going to go out and actually proclaim it, it shows people how much more that you have zero evidence of anything. Just talking. Okay?
See, anybody can do ad hominem filibustering if you got no fucking life. If you come on a conference call to just create hate speech communication.
So, then a Jew ended up responding. I forget which mainstream publication this was. He's like, no, actually, he's correct. We did run Hollywood. And those that ran all of the major studios, all Jewish. No, Jews they were the pioneers, the founders of Hollywood. So, you know, it's not like they infiltrated and did something, but and took it over. But that is one.
I know. Let me ask you a question, Debbie. You said they run it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a question. So you're telling me that everybody that works in Hollywood is made to work there?
That doesn't change the fact of who ultimately runs it.
No. Just answer my question. You're correct. It does not change the fact who runs it. But I do have a choice of where I work. Correct?
Yeah. So.
And I don't work in Hollywood. I know no Jew in Hollywood. I don't know anything about the music they're putting out. And you know what? I don't choose to work in that industry or profession. So I hear you loud and clear. But what you asked me, and Veridian asked me, do I know this? I do not have any first-hand evidence of who runs anything.
Okay.
I don't.
We get it.
I posted something in the chat.
All right.
So
let's tell you that the Jews, we're telling you, Jews have a monopoly in the entertainment industry, like music and freaking Hollywood, even news, and they socially engineer the public. They spread degeneracy.
In like your opinion, right? Because there's a lot of black musicians that might take, offense at what you say in Bavarian. You spreading a lot of Jew hate and a lot of bullshit. You should try to check your own society and your own culture before you start.
They don't understand what I say on Twitter. All I need is nothing.
Hey guys, if I get hell, I will. Okay, one more time. I drop you guys because listen, I have no shame. Please.
I've been trying to say something. I don't know why they keep coming off the mic. Every time I say something, somebody come.
I did join the room.
Hello, lady.
Yeah, moderators. Bavarian just said Heil Hitler. I think that's pretty fucking racist. You should probably kick that racist motherfucker to the goat.
So, this is what I want to do. I'm going to let Lady go, and then I'd like Matt and King to get into what happened this afternoon in their conversation, okay? So go ahead, Lady, and then we're going to go right to Matt. He's going to introduce our friend King.
Thank you. I apologize for interrupting, but I did post a link in the chat called Hollywoodism and the American Dream. It's a link you can look up on YouTube on how the Jews created Hollywood. It's a very, very interesting documentary about how they created like television, entertainment during that time. And this happened like after the First World War, which was dealing with like Germany and I forget the other country they were born with. I don't know if it was the U.S., but I think it was the U.S. and Germany. I know the U.S. was a part of it. But anyway, it definitely deals with how they started to curate and create entertainment, because that was during the time when the first black and white beat was made and all of that stuff. And making movies, and they created blackface and all of those things. So all of that.
Don't forget the technology involved to actually distribute, manufacture, produce films at scale, not just all the negative shit you're talking about.
I'm not understanding. But all I want to say, I want to say, like, the Khazarians and the Khazars is really what they make up of themselves, because they don't consider themselves white, like American, like they despise white men, like American white men. So that's very telling. But they created this Hollywoodism, and they control the media, they control any outlets that influence large groups of people in our land there.
Thank you for your intelligent.
I'm going to take a Berlin. 1 second. Okay, this is Berlin. Did you hear what I said is going to happen? I'm going to let her speak, and I'm going to turn over to Matt. Okay, I'm going to copy her document because I don't have any information on it yet. I want to go through it. So go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
We appreciate it. Appreciate it, Edward. Thank you. Katie, you want to start with the Kona?
Yeah, real comment. So,
Real comment.
so Congressman Rokana will be, and this is breaking, have several people have spoken to him trying to wait for actual documented evidence, but he's going to, right now, he's pushing hard. He's getting money from donors in India and other places to push hard for H-1B legislation to increase the number of H-1Bs in this country. And he and Thomas Massie plan on exonerating Donald Trump to get Donald Trump to say to push the bill and move it forward. So basically, their plan is to say, "Hey, we'll tell everyone that your name is not in the files and your name is not anywhere if you back this legislation to increase the number of H-1Bs in this country." Now, I don't know what Massie gets out of it, but apparently that's the plan, and there's a ton of money coming into him. Let's just put it that way. And he has his wife has estates and has a lot of that he claims he has no visibility into, but she has like a multi-millionaire both in India and also in the United States. So yeah, so I don't know how he's getting the money, but that's all I know. So I just want to share that. And then you want to talk about what happened this morning, Matt?
Yeah, so I heard it off and on. So I don't know the whole story of what was going on, but if you want to give some the backstory, go for it. I mean, that was just, I heard that was incredible. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, so, everyone's friend Ben was in Patty's room, and basically, so this guy came up. I forgot what that guy's name was, but he made a comment saying the way Donald Trump, talks to media and talks to reporters is horrible. A president should be more respectful when they're talking. I said, okay, yeah, Donald Trump talks horribly to reporters, true, but other presidents have talked horribly as well. So, to have this expectation that they're always going to be respectful is ludicrous. And he said, no, it was only Trump. No one else did that. So then and I said, what are you talking about? Then Ban jumps in to try to defend him. What are we talking about? Are you trying to compare Joe Biden and all? And then I went through, Biden basically cursing on a hot mic to Peter Doocy. And he goes, but then he apologized. I'm like, okay, so their natural intent is to do those things. And then, he also was pretty rude to Caitlin Collins. He goes, are you trying to equivocate that? I said, no, I'm not equivocating that. I said, the way Donald Trump talks is horrible. We could debate whether that's warranted or not based upon what they're doing to him and what they're saying. But yeah, the way he talks is horrible, sure. Right? And should he talk that way? Probably not if they're being genuine and honest. But then he just went back and forth, and he was going nitpicking over, I sent him a source about, what the White House did to journalists under Biden, and had a quote from you were there for that, Matt. You had a quote from the president of the White House correspondence. And he's like, oh, well, it's not the president. I said, dude, the source says it on the bottom. He goes, no, it's a different timeline. He wasn't. I'm like, dude, it says it on the article. What the fuck? He goes, oh, he wasn't president at that time. I said, so then Fox News is gaslighting. No, they're not. I said, well, then are they telling the truth? That's not what it says. I said, read the article. It says that in there. And he tried to change the whole thing because he was trying to defend Biden. It was pretty
It was classic GOAT, you know what I mean? And the things that you were saying, I love the part where you were saying, well, did Biden say that? Do you remember all the times you asked Ban that? Because what Ban does is he basically, what's the word? Not touches it up.
He projects.
Yeah, well, not only that, it just he'll say stuff that people didn't say, right?
Right.
He has a way with language.
Right.
If you listen to him, So he'll put his spin on what we know what Biden really said, and just do a whole different narrative around what he said. Which makes it look like he knows what he's talking about. You know,
He was talking about He goes, no, it's because she said, do you think, Vladimir Putin should do this? So she asked him a question, and he got upset. No, it's the context of, he didn't. I said, dude, you just said she didn't ask a question, and now you're saying it's because she asked a question. That's not what I'm saying. There's context. So he says, you're stupid because the way I said, did he say that? Like, did he actually say that because you asked us, or did he just say you're stupid? Like, you're stupid. Like, it doesn't make sense. And so he just was trying to justify it. Whatever. In the end, it was like, I'm not going to put it on. Yeah. I in the end relented because number one, I had to get back to work. Yeah.
Put the cauliflower into it.
Yeah, no, I was like, look, I gotta go. All right, you're right. I shouldn't have called you a stupid, fucking piece of shit. What if I called you? Yeah, you're right. I was wrong. Let's move on. Okay, yeah, you're right. I was wrong, man. You feel better, all that. And just moved on. I'm saying, yeah, the spirit is true. No. That's not what I was saying. I said, no. You made the premise that you were trying to hurt me, trying to say you're equating the two. You're trying to say, no, I'm not trying to equate it. My premise is that Donald Trump and is just, he's ruder than any other president. Now I didn't say this, but we can talk about the merits of why he is, he's ruder. That's a fact. He's ruder. He's more of a jerk to reporters than anyone else. He uses horrible language to talk about them compared to any other president. But at the same time, you can't say that no president does it. Everyone has been respectful and talking to reporters. You can't say
that was your point. By the way, that's your whole point. Needs to be in. If you were saying that all presidents have been disrespectful.
Yeah, and Trump, and I said, look, I conceded it. Yeah. Trump is worse. That's what he said. Trump is worse. But to make this premise that they should be respectful at all times, which is what this guy is saying, like, were you outraged when Biden was like, then Ban says, you gave only 2 examples. To say that he was horrible with 2 examples, dude, the guy was cherry picking his questions. He was all you're paying attention to is the media. You need to pay attention to the facts, not the media. Pay attention to the facts. Bullshit. Stay away from it. You need to, y'all need to download Newsmax.
Yeah, because they're not buying it.
Literally, straight up. Newsmax. Go on Newsmax and you don't have, you choose who you want to listen to. You choose who you want to listen to, like you choose how you want to listen to me.
Check this out. But honestly, even Newsmax is a type 2. In news too, in a way, for our side, in that way. So it's hard to find down the middle, somewhat reasonable. What I was gonna say was, for how much shit Trump does get from the media. It's the number 90% negative coverage. Is that real? We didn't know that.
Negative coverage. But then, people like Ben will say, but he's got a whole network. But look at what he does with Laura Ingraham and all this stuff. And I was going to go down this road, but then I was like, if you guys were on stage, at least had a couple more people on stage, I would have done it.
Yeah.
But I was going to go down this road of saying, look, you want to go through this? We can let's play this game.
I don't know why anybody would want to challenge us in the media area. I mean, that's been
Matt,
my biggest thing so far is they've been complicit.
Well, Matt, they'll say Fox News list. The thing to be very clear on, and you can do it right now, Google Fox News nightly lineup, right, and you'll see that they don't consider 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. as news. They don't. But they call Abby Phillips news. They call, CNN calls Abby Phillips news, right?
What's that dude? The guy,
Anderson Cooper. They call him news. Wolf Blitzer. Yeah. McDonald. They call him. They call Caitlin Collins. They call her news, right? So they call these guys news, right? Now on Fox, they have Brett Baer. Brett Baer is probably their only true news anchor, and he's at 6 or 7, right? They have the 5 before that, which is like a talk show type thing, right? So to say that, well, look at Fox. Fox had a lot of viewers, but they're more about entertainment. It's like WWE, right? You watch it's entertainment, right? So yes, they're talking about the days events. They're talking about the clear that all news is opinion. They call it their opinion section. They don't call it Laura news anchor. In fact, if there's news to be broken, she gets interrupted by an anchor who comes and says, "Here's what occurred." And
Laura's the
she's interested. Right.
So how does anybody consider him a non-biased source? I mean, if you guys ever listen to that guy, I mean, it's just constant diarrhea, TDS on his part. I mean, I don't understand how anybody can think that anything that he's saying is not like completely biased. You know what I mean? And that's played all day over the Lisa 420 lounge. I'm like, oh my god, like at least be like somewhat reasonable. Like I don't even think that guy's brought up one thing about Trump that's somewhat reasonable. That was my point. It's really bad. It's really like why can't I say that that's a propaganda arm of the media? Like why can't
I had a media that was complicit, except Fox, that was complicit in covering up for a president of the United States' mental condition because it was the right thing to do because it would make the Donald Trump faction excited. It would give him a reason to win. It would allow Republicans to take charge. So they made a knowing effort to say we're going to mislead the American public on this. And then you have Jake Tapper come out and write a book after the election. Because why write it? Because if we read it beforehand, then it could impact, and acting like he didn't know about this all the time. Meanwhile, these guys were complicit. See, it's interesting because people are still holding Jake Tapper in reverence. They're still holding Nora O'Donnell. I mean, what's his name? Dan was going off about, look at how she spoke. I don't know if you heard that shit, but, look at what she says. So, dude, ask the question the way you ask it. Like, what do you mean? How should she ask it? She asked about his intentions. And I said, really? That was his intention? And you saw me where I got him on that? And I said, okay, let's read the manifesto. And then I read other intentions, which had to do with, bombing children and all that stuff. She didn't read that. He goes, oh, sorry, she didn't read that. Then I was like, he talked about other crimes. Yeah, those go under crimes, don't they? So yeah, she did mention it. I said, no, she didn't, bro. She mentioned one specific paragraph because she wanted to do a gotcha to Donald Trump and try to do that. She wasn't asking because the public deserved to know. If she wanted to, she could have read the whole manifesto. Well, probably she didn't have time. I said, dude, I could read it to you right now in 2 minutes. Are you saying she doesn't have 2 minutes of time to come on? So what happens is people don't want to accept, especially on the left, that the media does this on purpose because it's the only way they can get their message out. Nobody wants to listen to their shit. Nobody wants to listen to Abby Phillip talk. Nobody wants to listen to these people, right? And so, they play this game. And I think it's important, Matt, that we hold that account. In fact, I would say we should do one room every month or every week or something on holding the media accountable and just talk about the most egregious reporting of the media.
Not just for social media too, like all of it, not just Yeah, I mean, I think, and you bring that's a great point, because going into this next cycle of elections coming up, it's not that far away. I mean, 2 years flies pretty quickly. We're gonna have to be getting to that mode of holding things accountable again. You know what I mean? So we might as well start doing it again. But you're completely right on that. So.
And look at the gaslighting that's happening. I mean, right now there was, I mean, you look at how the media and the propaganda of the Democratic Party has shaped some of the shit going on in this world is incredible. You have the German chancellor who's saying that Iran is essentially winning the war, right? Which is absolutely ludicrous. I mean, no, even Wall Street Journal won't say that. But you have the German chancellor saying why? Because they're reading shit that Hakeem Jeffries and others are talking about. And I think the problem here, honestly, is if you look at it, as a reporter asked Hakeem Jeffries, one reporter said, hey, your name's mentioned the Epstein files. Are you going to return the money that was collected by donations? They mentioned once, or your name was there, oh, we didn't even know that was an article, and then moved on and asked another question. Done. Right? Did what? I mean, is he going to say, hey, Bill Clinton, seemed to do events for Democrats, and his name is all over the Epstein file. Are you guys going to disavow Bill Clinton? Like, even Fox won't ask that. Why? If there's certain areas we don't go. Well, they go there with Donald Trump, but you won't go there with them. Like, those are the problems that I have with the media, is that they seem to pick and choose when they ask the questions and how hard they ask it. And yet that Chinese chick, the one that was the White House correspondent, Wei Zhang or whatever her name is, right? You know what she says? She says, Donald Trump, when he was there, he basically, and she was like nice. He was like, are you okay? And like he was like making sure she was all right. And I mean, you have what's his name? And I forgot his name, but I said it the other day. His name. Anyway, he's a reporter, I think with ABC or something, and he says the next day Donald Trump calls the city up that he does this. Yeah, Trump calls and says, hey, that's the only way. He's like, no, he's like, yes. I'm like, first part of me is like, Trump, you should just say fuck you, these guys, right? At the same time, he's like, hey, you were right. Apparently, and she's not talking about it, but I heard from someone I know who knows them that Trump reached out and said, hey, Caitlin, I know you were supposed to get recognized today. Why don't you come one day to the White House? Meet some of the team here. Press shop will take you out. You guys can have some food or whatever here. And invited her to come one day to the. Now she won't talk about it because CNN will be like, oh, no, blah, blah, blah. But those are. And people say, well, anyone would do that. Well, true, but would Hitler do it? I mean, you guys call him Hitler, right? So would Hitler do that? Like, and so it's just it's mind-boggling.
Maybe I'd be less on the media if, say, in that 60 watch, but if maybe there was, maybe like a question that is actually somewhat of interest to everybody. That makes sense, right? Not just one side. We don't get that anymore. Like, even as cheesy as it might sound, like just asking him about what does he think about the country, where do you think we're going? Like, that's a simple question that never gets asked anywhere. I think if you go back like 10, 15, 20 years, you'll see a reporter asking our president that kind of question. You know what I mean? Like, whatever happened to those kind of questions? It's all it is now is
Matt, we live in social media happening in the world of trying to make headlines happen and trying to get.
Yeah. And people with money.
Well, and they want to make money.
Backing these people in the States.
Yeah, I mean, they want to make money. I mean, so you're looking at it, right? Everyone wants a headline. I mean, you look at it at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Shots fired, and the shooter's dead. And then, they want. But what bothers me is the media doesn't say, hey, guys, we made it. We made a mistake. We wrongly reported that the shooter was dead. They just kind of go on, oh, so the shooter's alive. Okay, and they don't go and say, hey, we wrong.
Who's your friend? Oh, that's bullshit.
You know what's interesting about Patty's room as well is like Patty eats her own. She was screaming at some woman about, you didn't even say nothing about the motherfucking ballroom. Hello?
But CNN is kind of pushing. But Brad, hold on. So CNN is also kind of pushing fall in some ways. Correct.
You know for a fact.
Brad,
I'm not red pill. I'm just asking. Why do you know it for a fact?
Yeah.
Oh, now you're being mean. Oh, now you're being mean. Now you're being dogmatic. Are you upset?
Baseline.
All I did was question.
Baseline.
All I did was question.
I'll let you go. This thing is let Brad.
Why are you?
Baseline, dude.
Why are you so?
You don't know this guy, right? You always get.
Why are you so mad, dude? Calm down. It's okay, bro.
Okay, but baseline, hold on a second. Baseline, you're just interrupting the conversation. So, like, I will move you to the audience. You know, so just shut your fucking slurp pipe, okay, and stay on mute. Okay.
Well, that was.
Jesus Christ! I didn't want to fight tonight. I wanted to have a chill discussion. I had a long day at work. I've got to figure out a $250,000 fucking cost savings for somebody. So, I mean, shit. But back to our original discussion, I agree with you. Post the podium speech, which, by the way, hats off to the guy showing up in tuxes. I think that's how our president should fucking look all the time. But, and I loved how he was flanked by men. Just they came out like ballers, like, let's go. But, basically, I agree with you. The MSNBC and then the morning after what was going on this morning was just bullshit. And then crying about Jimmy Kimmel getting his ass canned. I agree with you all the way on that one. But at the time, I think there was just a lot of confusion in the ballroom and around the area and in the law.
So Jimmy Kimmel, just clear, he made the comment that. But that's like you don't do that.
I don't think that's funny. Like, could you imagine? I don't know who's like fucking no late night host would have dare said shit on Obama like that. We would never have come up with that. Like, I would never said, "Oh, Michelle Obama looks like she's about to be a widow." Like, nobody would have thought it. That's just. I think it's just the bio, so no. But he's not even press. He's a shit. I personally say keep him on because what do you want in Michigan? I mean, it literally is.
Well, Brad, the thing that bothers me is this, right? And we as Republicans don't do this, right? And even our media doesn't do this, but But our Republicans should do it too, right? You know how every time something happens, they ask a Republican or they ask Trump to disavow, right? No one is doing that. Like, Dana Bash tried on CNN with Raskin. Do you feel responsible for your rhetoric? And then Raskin said, well, I don't know what you're talking about. What rhetoric? Well, I got no problem with Donald Trump and blah, blah. And then she said, well, you called him a Nazi. Well, I mean, this and that's it. Then they just ended and move on. Say, well, we asked for a question, done. They didn't say, well, you have. What's his name?
That was crazy. He doubled down. Right?
Yeah, he doubled down about what?
King Jeffries just recently, wait, didn't he double down this morning, or was it Sunday?
He said
warfare. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
You're out.
And he doubled down, and that's acceptable, right? And so why is everyone not going to Schumer and going to every other Democrat and saying, do you support the comments of Jeffries? Do you support? No, they don't. They just go, oh, wow, Jeffrey said, okay, let's report it. Let's move on. Because if we keep asking them that, then one of them's going to get caught in something. And it's just like with Swallowwell, right? They cover up all the.
Well, wait. That's a good point. Did any Republican come out and say anything as a blanket target towards the Democrat Party about Swallow?
Never.
No. Is there any? No. Not even Trump. Trump didn't say anything. So, again, they get a pass on this, and then as soon as we do, because, he swallows well, especially what Fang said, I mean, I just don't get it, and I'm sick and tired of it. I don't like turning the other cheek anymore. I'm just tired. Everybody's tired.
Hello?
Trump should take advantage of this and flip the tables on the media, or at least the people that's in front of him at any given moment, and ask them if they support the manifesto. It's really simple.
Exactly.
At the bottom of that is saying that he's a pedophile, that he's a rapist, and all these other things, and they've been saying that. So they should just get them on record.
The 60 Minutes with the bullshit or whatever that interview was.
It's also Jamie Raskin.
Reading the manifesto, and she was reading it out for viewers to do. And Trump, the way he responded was just horrible. And I said, what do you mean? Like, she missed a piece of it. No, she was reading his motive. And then I was like, no, that was a piece of it. That was his motive. I said, then I read the rest of the thing, and I said, he talks about the death of children. That's not in there. He goes, well, maybe it is, it doesn't matter. And so basically, she did it purposely to put him in a box. Now, the problem is that this is going to be the thing that she was doing it to tell Democrats, hey, run about this, right? Run on this. And so that's why Trump is not pushing the manifesto, because it mentions these comments about, pedophile and all this stuff, right? And on the side note, Brad, which I think you'll find interesting, I don't know if you were here earlier when I broke the news about Ro Khanna. Congressman Ro Khanna is taking money from Indian-backed organizations
I know about that.
for the H-1B, to push the H-1B program. And him and Tom and Massey are planning on going to Trump and saying, we will exonerate you with the Epstein files if you push this. And push the H-1B, increase of H-1B program. And Trump will do it. But, just meaning saying that your name is not in the files and you're not a pedophile.
I don't know.
I know.
Then they will come out.
But he's not in there. That's the whole thing. Like, that's the.
Yeah, that's what
There's no lead. Like, even with, like, what is there left? Like, maybe 13, 15% of the files haven't been released. Okay. So, magically. But there's no commonality threat. Like, it's been ran through every GI or AI fucking algorithm to find anything associated with it. They have teams of people still poring over it, looking at it. There's nothing connecting Trump. They were like, oh, he's on the flight logs. Yeah, but he never went to the island because he was on the flight logs before 1996 when the island was fucking born. So you don't have that you don't have that, like, signed, sealed, delivered. Like, it's only Trump, and they're not going after anybody else. They're not locking up anybody else. They're not targeting anybody else on that list. They're not protesting at anybody else's funds. It's only Trump that matters. And at this point, I would tell Trump, like, you guys don't give a fuck about the Epstein list. The only thing you cared about was whether my name was associated with him in any kind of way, but you weren't upset about it. And then you brought Clinton's in for a fucking shill of a fucking deposition, and just to make it look optical, and you let Hillary do her grandstand or Benghazi tears again.
So do you think Kash Patel is not the man to bring charges? Because, I mean, does he need to be fired? Because if Trump isn't, these people are called, Raskin is saying that MAGA Republicans need to go to re-education camps. They're saying Republicans need to go to re-education camps. Are you listening to Jamie Raskin and other radical Democrats saying that they're going to arrest Republicans when they get back into power? So how is Donald Trump not going to fire Kash Patel and put a warrior in there? Kick me from the room to the goo. Kick me from the room to the goo. They don't want to hear me say the truth. So they kick me to the goo. They know it's true. Why do they kick me to the goo? Why is Brad Stauffenberger denying a $250,000 claim for a child? What up, son? They kicked me to the goo.
Yeah, you're bringing up some pretty interesting points into the Matrix.
I know. They don't want me to participate in their Matrix experience. So here we are, responding. This is why I record everything, because it's like, what's the point of doing all this?
Yeah.
I don't give Trump this credit, but so many times we've fallen for this trap as conservatives, Republicans, Trump.
It's so funny how, like, everybody's Republican now, and people are just like, you know, what do they call it? Fucking fair weather fans.
You know, Naveen?
Yeah.
Naveen, when he hangs out with the Dodgenes, right? And that fellow group of, you know, he totally, like, sells out Trump. And now, you know, when this happens, it's like he reverses his policy. He goes to supporting him again.
Yeah, Naveen is a super fair weather fan, but he does provide some interesting gossip that I will say that he's somehow privy to, you know, some relationships he has. Welcome, Miriam.
Hi, guys. I support Trump for 100%.
100%, always, forever, right? Well, see, that room is just like super boring now. It's called open discussion, but I mean, there's just like, anyways, it's not that big of a room anyways. There's very few people in there. It's just Marshall Stankin Rankin in his cheetah jacket.
Dude, oh, that reminds me of the like this one time I'm in college, university, biology class. I had to take off like this little shoes, and my feet were orange. What? I just so gross.
But for some reason, I support Trump. He should give me some things.
Do you have any wisdom to share, Miriam?
No, he should to come to kiss my ass first. And then I negotiate with him.
You would think you would get that far?
Huh?
You think you would get that far? I don't think President Trump would kiss your ass.
No. He say that. He say that. He should do that.
I never heard him say kiss my ass.
No. I hear everything. Okay, that's enough for me. And then
I want liberty. And you know what? That means I get to consume what I want to consume. That means I get to think what I want to think, feel what I want to feel, say what I want to say. I'm not a Muslim, okay? I'm free. I'm in America, and we wage war against the Muslim pirates, the slave masters of Islam. So, I've always voted Republican. I've never voted Democrat once and never thought I ever heard a Democrat speaker ever say anything that I considered to be truthful. It always seems to be a lie, no matter what they say. And so I've never, ever found myself in a position to want to vote for a Democrat. And I've voted in, I think, every major election of all time. I mean, I voted in the Green Party once for Roseanne Barr because I figured, Roseanne isn't going to lie. So let's vote for Roseanne.
The press secretary.
No.
Of all this stochastic terrorism that's being sprung up by the Democrats.
No, do explain.
I think this was a part of the manifesto from that guy. When you read the manifesto of the shooter, this is Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Ask yourself, how different is the rhetoric from this almost assassin than what you read on social media and hear in various forums every single day? Yay.
Now that I ate your black homes that was in Boyle Heights.
Coca and weed, smoke hookah and weed, smoke cannabis. That's chill.
Yeah, but you guys were they're very perplexed by me, Neo, because the thing is I'm stuck in their fucking time loop algorithm because they can't fucking figure me out. They can't diagnose me, and so they've got all their behavioralists in there and all their stuff, and they're just like, wait a minute, okay,
They're too advanced.
exactly, and so I'm stuck with them fucking with them. I'm and then I got so stuck with them that I'm like, oh my god. Did I just uncover what is going on around here? Oh, it's not long. Okay, so now I'm stuck here. Thank you, Neo, for confirming.
Sometimes really good reasons for that, but I agree with you. Sometimes it's bullshit.
You have to take the cumulative total of a lot of little things. Oh boy.
And it also shows how little we actually know about medicine, the human body, and health.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Joe, I would say the exact opposite. I'd say we actually know a tremendous amount about health and how to keep it, how to preserve it, how not to destroy it. For example, the COVID-19 Zab, that shows obviously we're completely ignorant as a population about how to actually maintain your health and not get lied to and hypnotized and propagandized with lotteries and Good Morning America, this is sponsored by Pfizer, etc. What do you think about that, Joe? Hello?
So, Alistair, I was disappointed to not see you on the list of politicians that have been banned or political hopefuls that have been banned from different establishments, such as like the Hard Rock or different restaurants. I thought I'd find you on there, and apparently not. It was hard. Hello?
Hello?
I've never had anybody come up to me and say, hey, are you John Kitover, that guy that ran for Congress? No, not yet. But I have had somebody come up to me and say, hey, are you that guy from Snapchat?
Well, no, you're the guy who ran for Congress but is now running for mayor of Chicago.
You're the guy who elevates his voice or raises. He goes into a tenor right at the end of every comment. You're next.
I think, well, he's actually a Castrato.
Pragmatic, like looking someone in the eye and just saying something that's painfully obviously true is a good strategy for a campaign. Like the mayor in the city that I live in, he ran for re-election, and his campaign slogan, I kid you not, was, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He won re-election. And you should just make your slogan, it can't be any worse than the last two administrations. Something like that, but
I was saying, don't be a dick.
Yeah, I like to say vote John, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a text. I forgot who was in the room.
It's about Austin.
Oh, well, you better be.
But you know, my marketing materials are much better this campaign. I am going to shut down johnforcongress.com, I think, because like there's no point in paying for a campaign that's over. And I would like to keep it maybe for like SEO value, but I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, move on, let it go.
Why don't you do a redirect and just have it go to the website?
Yeah, just take the site down, but keep the domain in case you ever need it in the future.
No, I can. I can always register a new one. That's the thing about domains is like they have completely lost all value because you can just add an X on the end of anything, and it's like so. It's all about your keyword optimization for the most part. But I'm in ketosis because I had some cheese pizza tonight, and I'm about to have a little more.
Heart attack. I take that back. That wasn't kind. Apparently not. It was.
Oh, I've had people here say, I hope your phones start on fire, you burn to death. I hope your house starts on fire. I've had many death threats. Many death threats. Regularly.
I hope you find some way to add value to your community and society at large.
Well, see, I've always hypothesized, like, what is the first way that you can actually change your community? And it turns out that improving yourself is actually the best way to change your community. It's the first and only place to start and finish. And really, that's called using your brain to improve your brain, which I doubt that you've done in quite a long time.
Trash for them because they're old and, be civic-minded, but you do you.
Well, if you see my PTR, I'm holding up what's called a book. I doubt you've read one in many years. I know people that haven't read books in 20 years.
I actually can't read. That's why I'm on a voice app. Otherwise, I'd be in a...
See, actually, you can read because there's this thing called audiobook, which is the same thing as a book, except in an audio version of a book. Hello? But people on Clubhouse...
Do you have any recordings of yourself having phone sex? How does it end? Does it end with a hello?
Could you imagine? I'm going to do that next time. Next time I get laid, right after I pop that load, I'm going to say, hello?
You consider phone sex you getting laid?
No, I'm talking about in the real world, in the fleshy domain this Friday, Saturday night. Hello? Thanks for the recommendation. Why did you say hello to me after you had your orgasm? Oh, this guy, Austin Powers, I know. He goes by a rubber ducky pirate. He told me that if you say hello after you ejaculate and then you articulate, you can go into ketosis, and it acts as an anticoagulant for fat, and you can lose weight. Hello? Has your Clubhouse been like glitching for you? It keeps glitching.
Glitchy?
Well, I keep getting kicked from rooms, and I'm just wondering, is it because my mic is not working?
John, can you spell cup?
Hello?
You pee. I see you pee. You do not.
No, but...
No buts. Okay.
Fair enough. But John, can you spell that cup?
Oh boy. My goodness. Well,
to spell it right now.
We officially killed the ram.
No, I mean, I thought you were being facetious. Hello?
Hello?
Is this app
Did all that
glitching?
make sense to her?
Maybe not one part of it.
Okay.
Do you have Matt Gates' number on speed dial, John?
How'd you know?
Well, I was wondering, when is he going to replace Kash Patel with Matt Gaetz? Because I don't know if you saw Kash Patel's post, press dinner party where Kash Patel was like, "We took control of the crime scene. We called in the crime investigators and immediately started examining for evidence." I was like, what in the fuck? Like, this is so stupid. You know, like, he sounds so amateur. Like, it's his first time, like, running a crime scene.
Get a job in customer service.
Oh, I already run a nonprofit complaint department. You're participating in it right now. Hello?
I'm not profit. Yeah.
I'm so fucking bored I could weep. You're always bored. The city's gone vulgar, darling. I saw a gutter rat in the lobby. The lobby. They're letting them indoors now.
Oh my goodness.
I'll tell you what, John, how big of a donation would it take? I've got $37. So how big of a donation would it take for me to give you?
Just to leave.
Well, I think you would be.
Yeah, you can buy me off. I'll leave. I will leave if you just, like, pay me to leave. That's always an option. Let me get you a link. Please hold.
Right, yeah, I've got $37 to my name. I'm
Oh
sort
my
of I've got a lot of, I've got a little bit of check.
Austin has a lot of money. You could bilk it for more than that.
So what are we talking about? Like 3-4 cents? What? Like how much?
Oh, if you want me to leave, you gotta give me $10 at a minimum.
You want almost a quarter of my wealth?
Yeah. Just think of it. Think of how much I can give back to you for a lifetime. Oh, I give you 100x as a politician, no doubt. I mean, I'm going to cut your property taxes day number 1. Have you seen my 3-day plan? 25% day 1. Boom. Probably just saved you another $3,000 a year. Hello? Hello?
I don't know. It's very difficult to give a very specific answer. Rather, I say that when our founding fathers, and they weren't my father, but the founding fathers, nonetheless, they were thinking. They were smart. They didn't look like me, but them motherfuckers smart. They knew that people in time would try to change shit. They knew that because they knew how power is. Power corrupts. It don't have to be if you're black or if you're white, if you work the.
That's why they gave us the law, Kenneth, the law.
But power corrupts. So, to the extent that our founding fathers were smart, I give them credit for that. And they knew that shit. And as a lawyer, I've become aware over time of that fact. So, my sharing and my answer to that is just to be profound specific. What was your question again? Because I want to land with that. Because I know somebody else will say something. And I want to be specific to your answers.
Kenneth, what did the founding fathers know about Islam that the woke left Democrats have forgotten today about Islam, Kenneth? The Muslims. Hello?
Well, they didn't forget nothing. Did you see how they situated the Washington? They made it. They knew about geometric universal law. They was aware. Them dudes was not dumb.
They knew how to construct a fortress, is what you're saying.
Man, I like black people, but some did like black people.
But when it comes to even Islam, I forget, like some of the founding fathers, they called them Mohammedans back then, and they would say, like, they were open to them, as of course they're trying to have a country that was not as that was far more secular. But yes, I understand. Our first foreign battle was with Barbaria, where they basically they were jihadists that demanded.
Yeah, we declared we don't pay terrorists. We don't pay ransom.
Right,
Hello?
My last question to Kenneth was, did he feel like the progressives and far leftists were hijacking the liberal party?
We've been hijacked because of the money.
Yeah, but look, hold on. I don't want you to talk to me for 5 minutes. I don't want to hog the stage. Money is a powerful motivator. It really is. But it's not the only motivator. People do a lot of things for a lot of different reasons. One of them is ideology. And if you consider that wokeism is a type of religion, it can be substantiated as such, people will sacrifice much for their religion. And what I'm seeing in our society as the leftists that are condoning political violence are quite willing to sacrifice conservatives on their altar.
Well, what happens is that, and the unfortunate thing is that we see a lot of violence within scriptures, within the Bible. So it allows certain entities to feel that violence is okay. And it's within our right to do the things that we are doing because we have the power. And if we want to point to scriptures, then we can point to scriptures and say that we have the power. And that's why it exists.
It's still more than money, and I think you reducing it to money is not being genuine, but I'll yield the mic to Pepe and other people who are less boring than I am that don't kill especially when...
Let me jump back in here.
Real quick, Monica, you're not boring. Do it.
Oh, well, how you doing?
How drunk are you, Wallace?
All right, how many?
No, I had two 12 ounces. I'm cool.
All right. Kenneth, I gotta ask you, what do you think of Trump? I just gotta get that out of the way right now. Are you there, Kenneth? Maybe take your water break.
He's doing lawyers.
You know what?
Out of respect for the room, for Monica, I'm gonna show self-disciplined, and I'm gonna be a good boy.
Well, first of all, I love Trump. I do. For various reasons.
Come on.
He just dropped a big deuce.
Different reasons.
He just dropped a huge deuce. Oh my God.
All people.
It's not going to watch his
Dude, what is up with this baggy, this female energy? Did you wash your hands? Let the motherfucker see.
None of you guys have gone out into the woods and told me you didn't wash your hands. You guys piss behind a tree, or if you're in the city at the club, you're pissing on the side wall of the club. You knew you ain't washing your hands in there. Spare me with this fucking cleanliness, guys. You guys will fucking scratch your asses. Put your fingers to your nose and see if it's fucking safe. Shut up about that.
So guess what? So
Provide us.
Guys, scratch your balls and then put your hand to your nose to see if it's funky down there.
So check this out, family. I live in Detroit, Michigan. I went to undergrad at the University of Minnesota in the 80s. So there were people that didn't look like me. That I was the first.
Dude, you were in the whitest state at the whitest time in the whitest part of the fucking world.
Kitover.
Yeah.
1988 from 1994.
That's like the whitest.
Minnesota. I was like, dog, I know people from like.
Dude, they only had 50 shades of white. That's only 50 shades of white.
Hey, but at the end of the day, they was my brothers, though. And
Dude,
that's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm talking to you in that frame. I'm never going to argue with you. It's just that we come from sides of a coin. That's all. That's it. And that's all I'm trying to ever impress to my brother.
Damn, are you the tarnished side of the coin? Nobody polished you. You need to trade in your pink ticket and get polished, bro.
What's the pink ticket? I don't even know.
Yeah, you need to cash that in, by the way, Kenneth.
What does that mean?
Get the plastic.
Just click on
Cash in that
the.
pink ticket. Just don't
Click on
I
the
don't
title
even
of the
know what
house.
a pink ticket
We'll
means.
polish you, bro. It's all good.
Click on the title of the house up here. The President Trump is enjoying. Yeah.
Okay.
To be fair though, like he's a Gopher and he went to university in fucking Minnesota, which is like I'm gonna tell you guys in the 80s, like beyond white.
93, brother.
Yeah, that is like white, like fucking so white fucking land. Like you don't get like dueling bandos in the South Can't.
You'll get respect real quick here, brother. But I'm a white supremacist, and that even fucking disgusts me, and I don't know why.
First of all, if I can't love you, then there's no such thing as unconditional love. So I can't find, even if you dislike me, you can hate me. You even know what I look like other than what was on television until they met me in person. When they met me in person, it was a whole different thing, bro. So it's not my goal to change anybody. It's my goal to be who I am, and then you make your determination from there moving forward.
We built the house gate.
Oh my God!
We welcome you.
Oh my God! Are you actually living the teachings of Jesus?
Dude, he's part of the
Bro,
this is perfect. Well, that is the thing, though. This is where I would get into it. Like,
I didn't say I was Yeshua.
I would get into it with like people like the Grapers.
But here's the thing.
But I would say this though is that these people, a lot of them are almost all of this adherents would be Catholic, and it's just like, dude, Catholicism is so you totally cannot like mistreat people because of their race and that kind of shit. Unless it's like competition. And when it comes to Catholicism, like being a good Catholic is being in a way almost like giving up everything to help the sick and the poor, and it's really different from, I would say, not only other branches of Christianity, but even other religions. It's just, and that can be a good or a bad thing. I don't want to say it, but yeah, like us being racist and all of that stuff, it's really weird, and I don't understand how people can have like the level of hypocrisy they have when trying to be pious while being racist, while using a religion that would disavow the racism. It just doesn't make sense. That's privilege, Pepe. You know privilege. Like 5 years ago, Clubhouse, we all know what privilege is. Colors and multi.
Yes, sir.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about privilege.
Different ages don't matter. Different colors don't matter. me go down that rabbit hole. Well, I think, because I'm an investor, okay? I remember back in the day, I do a lot of research, and Trump said before he was ever president, this is his words. You can Google it. So you can listen to what he said. They asked Trump when he was not a president, would he ever want to run for president? His answer was no. But if I did, I would run as a Republican. That was his words.
You saw him in the 80s, though. There's tons of recordings of him in the 80s where he has made tons of quotes. Anyways, there's lots of them. You should look them up.
All I'm saying is, he was aware.
I got one in my bio, and it's so relevant. You should check out my bio.
But he knew that he could manipulate. And he knew that he had money. And people knew that. And that's why he was popular.
Yeah,
I can't say too many words other than that.
What they're gonna do? We just kind of got there. They had to tell him in the 70s. They had to tell him in the 70s.
Well, he utilized what we have the awareness of, which is television. He had all kinds of TV programs leading up to
long, white, bearded guy singing music, like getting us under, like hypnotized, like that Alistair guy up there. What's his name? Alistair? Yeah, I never heard that before.
All I'm simply saying is he was just a different side of the coin. The people that's running.
I hope you traded in your pink ticket, brother, because I want to follow you. But
I joined already, brother. I think I gotta leave or something.
Look at Matt and Viking.
So what happened is that
some good crackers, premium crackers up in here.
He played both sides of the coin. So with respect to the conservatives, they're seeing an aspect of one side of the coin. But if you can imagine, there are potential people that are racist and people that are negatively vibrating that follow Trump. But Trump, if you can imagine, it was in black people's race with the rap music. So that means black people love Trump.
Oh,
There are some very Negroistic characteristics of Trump, but I need to ask you one question. I'm dead fucking serious. Wipe that goddamn black grin off your fucking face, because I have a serious question.
Okay.
I will kick you out of the fucking room. Now, when we break bread together, okay, and somebody brings a potato salad with raisins in it, what do you think of that?
I'm listening, brother.
Is that good or is that bad?
Well, you asked a great question, Sam. So, when I went to the University of Minnesota, I had a good friend of mine. His name was Paul Koenig. Okay. His family owned a farm in Hutchinson, Minnesota. And I couldn't go back home to Detroit.
I'm sorry.
So I was just talking to the person that was in Minnesota so he can verify I'm telling him the truth.
I hear you. What are you asking? I'm washing dishes and getting ready for the morning. What is it?
Hutchinson, Minnesota. So my friend was named Paul Koenig. And he was a good friend of mine. And during Thanksgiving, I went to his home, which was a farm. And mind you, from a city person, I ain't never seen a farm before. So and when we ate, and they didn't know, and I didn't get mad because they was loving me. They served me watermelon at Thanksgiving. Now
watermelon at Thanksgiving in my life. I can only laugh. I didn't find it offensive. But all they knew was that black people like watermelon.
But who
So they
doesn't
served it.
like watermelon? That's the question. Who
So
doesn't
that's
like
my
watermelon?
answer to your question.
That is some northern Minnesota white people shit. Like, I can see that. I believe you.
But the white Minnesotans are like so much nicer. Like this, because that's like where the
Passive aggressive.
settled.
It's passive aggressive. It's not like the way you think it is up there.
The microwave is on time.
Wallace, go back to drinking the IPA first.
Yeah. Wallace, you're little blackout drunk. Just saying. But
Not really, not yet.
no, I would say though, like even with I've been to Minnesota,
Probably Minneapolis.
Wisconsin, not Minneapolis, but
Rochester area, the southern part.
yeah. But I will say that just in general, like there is kind of a difference between, just like how there's regional differences in the United States. I would say that when it comes, and granted, I've never lived there, there does seem to be some differences amongst different groups of people, including the people like the northern part of the Midwest, and I don't know, they do.
It's different.
I'll tell you this.
It's different.
Hold on. So, like, okay, I will say this. You're right. There is, like, they have a passive aggressive. In the city, when I first, it was beautiful. Like, I mean, parks, everything there. People actually smile. No, there are some racist piece of shit cops out in the fucking city. You couldn't deny that shit.
Fuck yeah. Can I pause you a little second?
Just let me finish, buddy. You can go. Yeah, like that shit was really, because you saw it from the sidewalk when you went to Minneapolis. You went to Minnehaha. You were on Beta Muscat. You were walking through Uptown. You could kind of tell, like, you could see what was going on there, and a lot of people of a multitude of colors were all like kind of uncomfortable because the cops, they were a different set. Like Chauvin was like probably a mild comparison to some of the cops up there. So I get it, but like when you got out of Minneapolis area, you got out of Hennepin County, and you in Wright County.
Living friendly, brother.
There you go. Once you got out of those two counties, you were fucking. All of a sudden, it opened up. It was a whole world. You hit Duluth. People were happy. People were working. People had beer smiles on everybody's faces. You were sitting down. You were partying on Lake Superior. Like, you turn around and it'd be all black people. Everybody be eating. Everybody having a good time drinking. Kids playing in the water and the surf. Cold as fuck, but it would be fun. And then you come down to Minneapolis, and it was really a weird vibe in Minneapolis. I guess that's to try to say, because just.
Brad, what the fuck are you talking about? There's two happy people in Duluth.
Go ahead. Whoever was speaking, go ahead.
That's the.
He knows though. He's been there.
I've been to Duluth. It sucks. Duluth sucks.
If I knew it was going to be that cold, I would have not chose to go to Minnesota.
It's not that cold.
It's the fishing. It's the fishing. You know, you go fishing in different places.
It's not that cold.
I mean, come to the Pacific or the Atlantic. It's fishing. We're going.
It's good. So I came on like a midnight, like right there at midnight. I wake up the next day and I'm like, I went to the. God damn it, Wallace. But like over there, the next day I'm like, I'm in Anchorage and I'm just like, holy shit. Like, oh, wow, there's black people. Amazing. So like, I didn't picture that about Alaska. And then there's like, I'm talking to the security guard because I'm just waiting for my fucking, girlfriend just to hurry the fuck up. And he's like, oh, they shop until they drop, don't they? And I was talking to him. I just remember thinking in the back of my head, and I was like, of course I didn't say this out loud, but it's just like, holy shit, like you motherfuckers would not even exist here probably 500 years ago because you like die of vitamin D deficiency, whereas it takes a very special, like you have to be basically an Eskimo to live here, and like you have, believe it or not, like quite a lot of black people in Anchorage, and I would say one of the cool things is about that place is that it is super libertarian. Nobody cares.
You really should interrupt Pepe. Let Pepe finish.
I'm sorry,
No. The only thing I was gonna say is that was one of my. Even though I did not like the climate, it was perhaps somebody who grew up in Arizona. You can probably understand why I didn't like the climate, but I would say the people there were probably the coolest I've ever met. Just super libertarian in a way where it's like you have boundaries you don't cross, but you kind of just let people be. It's a really cool place.
Up and down Pepe in the state.
Kenneth, I bet you miss those hot dishes, though. I bet you miss it. I bet you miss that. and those Juicy Lucy's, I bet you miss those. Those were good, man.
What is it, Juicy Lucy?
A little bit more.
Whoever said Juicy Lucy.
Pepe's a dude. I just don't know.
You know who's in Minnesota? No, well, you just lost that. So if you're in Minnesota, just order yourself a Juicy Lucy, and you'll figure out what it is, and you'll enjoy it.
I'm gonna have to look it up now. This is bullshit.
What's a Juicy Lucy, bro?
You didn't have one?
No.
Oh man. All right, I'll tell you. No. It's like a bourbon.
You just looked it up.
Yeah, I told you. It's soft. It's soft all on the inside. All over. They're served all over.
What?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to call my boys and be out.
No, it's a type of dish.
Capitalism is lost, family. This is why everything is great in America.
Of Hussein, and so I love that so much. Islam is a religion of justice, and that's why.
That sounds interesting. I definitely. I don't know the Hussein. I don't think that was actually a good example used, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. What you're really saying is Christ. That's what you're talking about. You want someone to just cough it up, and because they know, they're like not concerned. You're talking about Christ, and not. There ain't that many people that have that kind of union with the logos. I think the closer I get to understand, and the more I don't even. God is huge, way bigger than you. And it's just really hard to think that he would be. It's how much of it's a very huge universe expanding at rates that are like faster than light.
It's like an embedded frequency.
Market. He does it, and because he is influenced by APAC and the Epstein issues, he's motivated to do certain things and to say certain things. But at the end of the day, he loves money. That's why. What other president added an extra section to the White House?
But it's part of it. You gotta love it because it's part of it. It's kind of sad, but yeah, you gotta love it. What? Trade everything for power and money? Would you personally, trade it all just to have it all? Give it all to have it all? Would you do that?
Not me, because I know money you can't take with you. We call. Yes.
So take it while you can. Is that your mentality?
For me, no. Trump, I think, yes.
Trump cares about his name. He's going to leverage the money to ensure that his family name is continued and that his legacy will be able to continue. He also wants to go down as the greatest president ever. He's going to go down as probably the most transformative of all time. And if he gets $21 trillion in investment opportunities, which is over half our debt, he's going to be able to basically keep this country afloat for another, 200, 150 years. Because of he's going to be set.
Because we read the book. No. That's how we did it.
Speaking facts. He's speaking total facts.
If Trump doesn't do what he does, literally, you and I don't live the lives that we're living for the next decade. Our kids are not living like we live. I'm serious.
Trump is totally setting us up for the future.
What's up, Crow?
Trump is totally setting us up for the future.
That's weird.
Pay attention. That's what he's doing.
Really quick,
He's setting everybody up for the future. And that's what's going on.
Well, I wanted to clear the space so you could actually start from the beginning. So say it again, clearly and loudly.
No, Trump is setting us up for the future.
Correct.
Like, pay attention. Pay attention to what he's doing.
Exactly.
He's setting us up for the future, for the next president. He's setting up the next president in case he don't get it. But you know what? I think that it's going to go a little swing thing where somebody pops out.
We're going to let Crow finish, Kenneth, so let Crow finish. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. Yeah, I'll talk.
My apologies, Crow.
No, you good.
I live on Crow, so I want to hear it land, Crow.
No, I think Trump is probably going to be our next president at the next election. They're gonna do it. They're gonna make it happen.
Right, so does that mean
you know what?
Other amendments though?
He is our best president we've ever had.
Suck a fucking dick, you faggot.
That's all right.
He's gonna be.
What's up, Super Steve?
We're gonna have a third term president. In other words, you want us.
Fucking talk.
No, you shut up. You fucking homosexual. Shut your fucking mouth. No, I moved you to the audience because you stupid piece of shit. So you're trying to tell us that we're gonna have a president who's gonna be so great, which by the way, he's gonna be like what, not in his 90s? I don't know. I forget how old he is now. And he's gonna be the greatest president ever. This is fucking retarded. Okay, and he would how much he would change things constitutionally in order to remain a president. Like that's just chaos. And I get it, you can be a super fan of Trump, that's fine. I voted for him 3 times. I talk a lot of shit about him though, too. I voted for him because he's the best option. But hold on, this worship that I see with a lot of you fucking retarded maggots, it is so, you guys are so dumb. Just the dumbest fucking people to ever live. You have no...
It's just Pepe projection. It's ad hominem projection. Green bean big Pepe.
Yeah,
Napoleonic
I know.
Pepe.
So guess what, faggot? You get to go to the audience. Amazing. I love the maggot.
Ooh, we got Pepe a little angry.
Pagan. I don't worship
He's a Pepe. Now you're a little pissy.
Love you nonetheless. At the same time,
Boy Crow. So if Trump has a third
term, it's like if you this thing you get.
He does have a third term.
So should they?
I mean, he get a fourth term because you know what?
What is that?
All you gotta do is get a vice president, and the vice president steps down and let him back up.
Double Crow,
right?
Okay, so
we can make it happen.
That's what has to occur, right? So. Do you think if that's the case, and let's say that he can somehow be elected in a third term, do you think that they should be allowed to work around other amendments? Let's say the Second Amendment.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So what if all those third 6 years later, when there's a Democrat in office, they totally take away guns, for example?
It's one of those Looney Tunes crews. Yeah, well, the problem is the Democrat office needs to just step aside because the Republicans are holding it down. If you go back in
Answer the fucking question. You answer the fucking question. You goddamn troglodyte. You smooth-brained fucking troglodyte. You shut your fucking mouth, you piece of shit. No, you low IQ piece of shit. You need to know. This is a question.
Solid. He's like fucking not charging me with this fucking new charge, and then I'm over here. I'm like, he took my $30,000 check. Like, false alarm! I found it, guys. Don't worry. It's right over here next to this Beth taco.
That's okay. That's a good idea.
Beth taco is fucking good. Love it.
Almost. I could make it to the Chinese place. I could make it to the Chinese. Yeah. I take my keys. I could make it.
So, Illumi, I'm wondering, Illumi, have you ever studied the two Barbary Wars that the U.S. inflicted on Tripoli in the 1800s?
What?
Hello?
What? Hello?
I'm asking you, do you know about U.S. history in regards to Islamic piracy? Hello?
Yeah. From what? To Tripoli.
Yeah. There were two Barbary Wars, and the U.S. government refused to pay tribute, but they did pay ransom.
They ended up paying tribute.
Well, they wanted to legally call it ransom and not tribute because they found it to be ridiculous that they would have to abide by the Mohammedan Constitution. Well, the point is they fucking went over there and kicked some ass, and they actually took a whole city. And the guy that took the city was upset that the U.S. brokered a peace deal when he wanted them to release all the hostages with no money. And we paid $60,000 in 1800. $60,000? It's like $5,000 a human head. That's a lot of money back then. I mean, multiply that by 100.
Because they decided not to pay because he decided you wanted to get out of it.
Zuni, you sound annoying. Please mute.
Well, please stop talking in code. Please stop.
Talking in code?
Please stop talking in front of me about me.
Stop breathing, John Tiffin. Stop breathing.
Zuni, are you Jewish?
She looks at them.
Yeah, you look Ashkenazi.
I am Jewish.
Oh, Rabbanu Shalom. Congratulations. I didn't know you were Yiddishkeit. Rabbanu Shalom. This time next year, we'll have dinner with Benjamin Netanyahu after they clear him of all the fake genocide charges. Just a bunch of lies.
Is that why you came in here? They were complaining about me kicking their ass?
But can you guys stop talking about me in front of me? And this, like, I'm so sick of it. You guys have been going on so long. Please stop. And no gaslighting, no nothing.
Illumi, I heard a rumor today that they're saying there's more Hamas fighters now in Gaza Strip than before they started the war.
If it sense, you would appoint me as your king.
Well, you're just a cartoon, though. That's what you don't understand.
Sense, and I would make your life into a paradise. But with a clubhouse, cheap. Instead of unifying around a person, any animal, every animal in the freaking animal kingdom finds an alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Find a leader of the pack.
Well,
they organize into hierarchies.
Yeah. No, they don't. Not necessarily. Have you ever seen birds? Have you seen how birds operate? They're like the alpha predators of society. Birds don't give a fuck. They will kill and eat and fly and fuck. They don't give a fuck. They're free.
Birds are more like drones than they are freaking.
Why do you guys talk about
living things? Like,
oh my God, Zuni, zip it, Zuni, Zuni, zip it.
I still don't know how birds work, by the way.
What do you know that I don't know?
It's nothing. We're in a book club. You see that my PTR? I read that book today. You ever read a book like that? Hello?
Yeah.
Bet you didn't. Bet you ain't read a book in years. Years. Hello?
Why do you guys talk about me in front of me? What do you guys know that I don't know?
We know some secrets.
That I don't know.
We know some secrets that you don't know.
Sunni, they were like,
why does the whole world know something that I don't know?
Because you're not reading enough good books, Zuni. We've got really good axioms and aphorisms that have increased our intelligence. We're like the next stage of human psychological evolution. Hello?
Yeah, but like everywhere I go, it doesn't matter. Like, and I'm not just talking about online. No matter where I go in the world.
Well, what about it?
It's like the whole thing is like orchestrated, no matter where I go, and like I try to test
got
it
these
too.
new combat
I
boots.
try to test it
God,
too.
they're so
I try to
comfortable.
test it too because I thought it's like I try to build a profile. Like say if you were looking for a criminal, right? You would have a profile, right? This person's like this, person's like that. I cannot get a profile because it doesn't matter if it's online, real world, over here, down the street, another state away. It's like, how the fuck is this all orchestrating?
Yeah. Well, see, the thing about life is there's so many, there is an infinite number of variables because it just extends out into the universe. And the thing that I heard about life is that it is based on the principles of random chance. Randomness is the law.
I'm being real, so you're just gonna tell me like don't even answer. Is this a real case?
This is a real answer. This is what I read in a book on theses.
How the fuck is all this being orchestrated?
Because it's all based on randomness, and so that's the secret. Meaning that once you realize that the whole thing is random, that's secretly joy. Because it's random. If it wasn't random, it wouldn't be joyful.
How are my thoughts not secret?
Your thoughts are not secret. Your thoughts are universal. Hello?
Right. How's that working?
I don't know. Go outside. Look at the moon. Get a magnifying glass or a telescope. And microscope, not a microscope. Yeah, a telescope. And just look at the face of the moon. And just know that the deepest crater on the face that you can see goes into the moon 8 miles. Now just imagine standing at the edge of the precipice of a cliff that goes down 8 miles and you're on the moon. You know, hello?
Hello. My dog said hello too.
Fix any laptops today? Illumi?
I'm working on a printer.
You're fixing a printer? Wow. What a waste of time.
The one for my shed.
It's a $600 printer.
Well, what were you? Is a customer's printer or something you were using it to print shit?
It's one of those that, wholesale. It's broken slightly, and so you can't really sell it with all the rest. So, what do you do with it? Well, you just go buy one from Amazon and switch around the little parts and then send it back.
They have these new
What do I do with the one in my shed, Mikhail? What does that mean? What do I do with the one that was left there?
Just
Why do you lose
throw it in the garbage. Throw it in the garbage.
I don't know why you left that printer there. So
why would you throw something of value in the garbage?
Because these printers, honest to God, like
if they're in a box, put them online. If you don't need a printer,
you can sell it.
If
Yeah.
they're broken, find a replacement.
So Zuni has Illumi.
All these corporations are not paying taxes; that are just hanging out insurance products for free for you to go. Your return policy.
So, Illumi, what do you think about Freemasonry, global Freemasonry?
How much are they paying?
I mean, they've got billions of dollars, I assume.
Where do we sign up right now?
You can go sign up. You can go find some Freemason lodge in your area.
Yeah,
Go
they're
join
gonna
them.
pay me if I sign up.
No, you gotta pay them. Duh.
What do I have? No. That sounds like a Ponzi scheme right there.
Exactly. But what I'm trying to say is, if you look at them,
it's too highlighted, it's too talked about. Things that are actually people and done in secret are not this fucking popular. So what?
well, you still have to look at it. There's
What's
history.
really going on is not Freemasonry.
Oh, really? You're so sure about that? Because I have history books on Freemasonry, and it's global, and it's the Europeans, and a lot of it is political. So there is a political, historical,
It's a placebo effect. These people think, oh yeah, look at us, we're over here, we're doing something. It's a sleight
It's
of
not
hand.
placebo.
Whatever's
These
going
are
on,
networks. These are communication networks, and to say that they didn't do anything is stupid. And if you think that the books that I have are just stupid, well, I would just ask, what was the last book you read? Hello?
The last book I read is
Hello?
Quran. The same Quran. See, every Muslim can just say the Quran on that question.
No. It's actually it's to be with the believer.
Not the best book in the world. So
It's not. It's not the best book in the world. No, it's not. Definitely not.
Just can't read it, bro. How can I judge a book that you can't read, man?
Bro, I got it. It's not the best book. I'm looking at 1,000 books. I can rank it.
You haven't read the Quran. You read the translation of the Quran, my friend.
I got it, my friend. Okay, Zuni. Sorry, Zuni was trying. You're interrupting Zuni. Be a gentleman. Let this woman speak.
Until you read it in Greek.
I know you want to troll. I know you want to troll here, Alistair, but I'm going to benefit.
Troll? How dare you project troll onto me? You're a troll.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. But anyways, the last book I read was Muhammad is a Believer's Red Donner. I ordered this book. I have it in my hands right now.
Awesome. What did you learn? What have you learned? Give us an extract.
So when it this guy's take on Islam is much more which is kind of odd. He's not a Muslim or anything. He's like a white guy, but he has a whole other take on like who were the believers in Islam, right? Like, it wasn't this very rigid type of Islam that you see nowadays, you know. It was more like a believer could have been like a Christian or a Jew or it wasn't this like, you know, someone who necessarily does the 5 daily prayers of Shahada, etc. And so I read that book, and I went back and I like read the Quran now. And like the Quran actually does really read like that, but it would maybe sometimes you don't notice it that way because you're looking at it through a different lens. After some of the things that he said, there'll be things I read.
Did the book mention anything about trans or LGBTQ? Because I'm sure Necro would like to know what the Muslims think about the believers who are trans or LGBTQ.
Well, so the thing that I noticed about so like those kinds of sins, people like to focus on those because the majority of people, it's not like I wake up every day and I'm like, oh God, I hope I don't want to, love a girl. No, I don't love a girl because so it's easy to highlight one sin that most of us aren't doing and then go against it. Well, everyone's, the guy who's really against fucking the transgender, it's like, that's fair. And he's ripping everybody off of his business. And, so he's doing all kinds of shit, but it's just like, it's one sin for everybody to gang up on and come together on and then highlight and focus like, this is the problem. Well, they're all a problem. You're just a guy like to focus on this one because it doesn't involve you. And it's something that you can unite on. And that's that. Innocent.
Because after reading the Constitution of Muhammad, I just have found that the Islamic Constitution is basically a charter on how to start a mafia organization to basically blackmail people, abuse people, intimidate people, rip people off, and give them no real jurisprudence, no jury trials, and always leave it up to the Ummah, to the Allah, and to the laws of Muhammad. And to me, those believers versus non-believers, in-group versus out-group, to me, that's ignorance, because the in-group fails to recognize that they can't be the in-group without the out-group. And so therefore, it is a network, a hidden network through communication. And in 2026, if you are still living in the year 600, shame on you, read more books, and stop with the bullshit. Because Muhammad was a mafia don, a godfather gangster, and he hypnotized millions and hundreds of millions, billions of people throughout the years.
That's not true.
Oh, it's true, baby, because you don't even know the Constitution of Islam, and that's just like your opinion. I'm citing facts. I can provide links, and we can debate actual source material from Medina, and you can try to wise up, and you can fight the Ummah, you can fight the Muslim terrorists, and you can fight for justice and liberty and peace and wisdom. I am complete. Hello?
Yeah. So this is how because Islam is such a widespread thing. So that I know for a fact that it started out as something good. I know for a fact. I don't have to bring the goodness of the prophet. I know the prophet is good. Beings have attached itself to it, and how big it's gotten. And so of course, I don't. When I look at if I want to go read fatwas and this, I have no idea where this came from. It came from the prophet. Who knows? I don't know. But I know that the prophet's good. He's good, and that's why that's why the message starts getting spread. But and then it's good because then it gets real popular and it gets inundated with evil.
I made so many snarky remarks that I saw.
It's crazy. He's that. There must be some prophet because the
Muhammad is the messenger of lies, hypnosis, and destruction, and blackmail, and blood libel, and blood. The guy is just a gangster. He's intimidating everybody. Come to war with us and pay for it, or we'll kill you too. That was his message in the Constitution of Medina. You should read it. You need to go to law school so you can learn how to read, apparently.
That
hurts in his guilt.
It's like he wants to. It's like, I don't know, whatever floats your boat.
Slowly. So, and then you also believe that if you sincerely repent, that God will forgive you, correct?
Yes.
Then what would be the point of the crucifixion? If you already know that if you sin regardless, you sincerely repent, that God's going to forgive you, what would be the point of the crucifixion?
This comes into the theory of the atonement, and I think that I affirm, substitutionary atonement, that Christ became a curse for us. He stood in our stead, taking on the wrath of God to appease the justice and holiness and wrath of God. So Jesus took
Sorry,
that.
before you keep moving forward, I'm just trying to gather this all together.
Break this down. Yeah, that's fine.
We've established, right, that God is merciful and forgiving.
Yes.
And you do understand the difference between
being merciful and being forgiven?
I think the mercy is giving you something that you do not deserve. So all of us deserve death, which we do get physical death, but we deserve what's called the second death. And Christ has redeemed us from that by dying on the cross for our sin. So yes, he gives us mercy, and the mercy.
So in your thought process, the mercy is fixed. That's the mercy. God Christ is being merciful because that's what it is. After Jesus,
He is simple. Well, yes, he can be merciful.
but God is simply merciful. Why the crucifixion? Why did God say, I'm merciful? I know you and your intention. I know that you're human and that you sin, right?
I think he's been good to us for some months. But I don't think it has nothing to do with price. I also think it has a lot to do with price. It's not, bro, because I don't think nobody would argue about the success of 16 years. Like, I think it had a lot to do with it because it had nothing to do with that. If rap was underground, right, and Drake wouldn't be in it.
I have business.
I studied assassinations, and interesting question, right? Why do you think this came?
You know how old some countries, bro? Right, we're only 200 something years old, man. 250, actually. What country was voting before us? He made one.
America actually got their
Yeah. Okay then, so you understand where their system is coming from.
and then I'm gonna put her name in
It sounds like he's going to agree with majority of the things that I was going to say anyway. And the brother actually turned out to agree with majority of the things I said. So therefore, like I said before we even had a conversation with Prince, I said, Prince, it sounds like you're going to have a discussion with somebody else. So
American presidents in the past. Yes. Yes. And they're the ones targeting President Trump right now? Yes. Yes. Well, in the way in which they're targeting Trump is a multi-layered strategy they've got going. They've got a psychological operation running that's convinced people to hate Donald Trump. They suffer from a condition we call it TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, perhaps you've heard of it. Well, these people used to be normal until their brains were washed by the mainstream media. Analytically think. They didn't ask any questions. They were easily manipulated. They just believed what they were told by media without questioning. And those same mainstream media sources that we've now learned that they've been lying to us all about a number of issues, those are the same mainstream media sources that the people who suffer from TDS, they believe what is coming from those channels. And they're being conditioned into violent behavior. And some of them are acting on it. We are seeing a pattern of activity, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, they're targeting Trump in a lot of different ways. They have an entire psyop going, incentivizing people to be violent, to target minor supporters. They have a whole psyop going on that Trump is a part of the king. Well, if Trump is a king, how come you guys are allowed to protest that he's, you get the idea that they're trying to sleep their narrative. No kings, no kings. That's the this president. The majority of people did. Yeah, the people who are upset or pushing this no king stuff, they're the ones that are actually acting like kings. They're the ones that put these unelected bureaucrats in place to control your lives through many different mechanisms. From finance to geopolitics to health to even what you think. They control what you think. Well, what you think is based on what you see.
Fucking any type of gaslighting or fucking mental fucking bullshit.
Sam, David Romero, Aisha Sidney, JCCC, and we were all wrong. And you were right. That French?
I'm like ashamed. I really thought I was right, but I'm
sorry, Randolph.
What up, Wallace?
We're all hanging up.
Is that room over?
Dude, I can't associate myself with you. This is like